I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. And everybody said, stop that boy from singing. He's doing a real injustice to music. That is an old country song that I heard when I was in my teens or maybe even younger. Various folks have recorded it, Ray Price, George Jones, others. And for some reason it popped into my mind tonight, and I thought I would use that to start off on a sippin' and talking video, which you're now a-watching. I'm Robert McKay. You saw the thoroughly amateur nature. You didn't just see the title card. You saw me maneuvering stuff because I thought I was ready and I wasn't. And I don't start the video over at that when that kind of thing happens. I don't edit it out. I wouldn't if I could, and I don't have the facilities for editing. But so that I can spend some time talking, let me prepare for sipping. I can't remember. I think I might have done a video with this, but I'm not sure. It's Devil's River Agave Bourbon. Well, this new setup of mine is better, but it's still not professional. This is from the Devil's River Distillery in San Antonio, Texas. Everybody thinks that Texans say San Antone. I have never heard an actual Texan say San Antone. Mostly I've heard what I say, San Antonio. You want to hear a different way of saying something, there's Snangelo, which everybody else would say San Angelo, or Mejia, which people think is Mexia, or San Jacinto, which in Spanish would be San Jacinto. Everybody else would think is San Jacinto. To us, it's San Jacinto. And don't tell us we're saying it wrong. That's where we won the revolution. But anyway, this is the Devil's River Distillery, San Antonio. Now, it says that it is produced and bottled by Devil's River, which is different under the regulations that deal with bourbon from distilled and bottled by. This is not distilled in San Antonio. It's bottled there. I would presume it's aged there. But I don't see anything here to tell me where they do distill it, which means the best guess is MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. They're the biggest contract distiller. They sell more barrels of their whiskey to NDPs, my brain has gone completely flippin' blank on the phonetic alphabet for D. Alpha Bravo Delta. NDPs, November Delta Papas, non-distiller producers. They produce whiskey, but they don't distill their own. And MGP contract distills for some, but it just distills all sorts of whiskey of its own recipes and then sells the barrels either aged or unaged to these NDPs, who then do whatever they're going to do with it, slap their brand on it. And not a thing wrong with that. There's some very good whiskey that comes out of MGP with another label on it. Anyway, this is agave bourbon, and I wondered when I first run into it how you can have agave bourbon. Turns out they have the bourbon and they infuse agave nectar into the pre-existing bourbon. So they're not using agave as an ingredient in the bourbon. I would presume that it's a standard rye bourbon mash bill, at least 51% corn, and then whatever else the other grains are. But I haven't looked it up. I don't know if there is anything. I need my glasses to do what I'm about to do. I got to talking and got futzed up. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to even sound like I'm using bad words, because I don't use bad words. Y'all can think of that what you will. I'm a Christian. I don't want filthy words coming out my mouth. But I picked up that word, F-U-T-Z, futz, in, I believe it's Elizabeth Moon's space opera series. One of them. She has 2 or 3. I'm not sure, and I'm trying to eradicate it from my vocabulary, and it's so simple and easy that I'm having trouble with that, so I apologize if I sounded like I was speaking stupidly. I do enough of that without y'all thinking I do it when I don't. But that's what I'm a-sippin' on tonight. I won't do a review until the next glass. This is only my second. But why did I sing that snatch of that song at the beginning? There's a definite nuttiness there that was not on the first glass. I got this on the 20th of April. It is now, well, it's actually into the very early morning of the 1st of May. So in the 10 or 11 days it's been open, this stuff has definitely opened up. I can tell that already. But why did I sing that little snatch of song? Well, in other videos, there's one where I really emphasized it, and which videos I have and have not uploaded in which I said this or that, I don't know. I've spent too much time meandering. I can't take the time to explain it now. If you want to know, please ask in the comments. I'll be glad to answer there. But I randomize my videos, upload whichever is at the top of the randomized list, so I don't know what I've already got up and what I haven't. But I have mentioned that back about the middle of February, the 13th of February, I had to call 911 because I thought I was having a heart attack. And I have said very emphatically, no, it was not a heart attack. Well, now I have my own cardiologist. I say cardiologist, that's a physician. This is a nurse practitioner. And why they don't award these people medical degrees when they're doing more or less everything a physician can do, I don't see. I can't feature it. But she said I did have a heart attack, and I asked her why. That there were 2 different reports, one from the folks who treated me in the hospital, and then one from her. And she said, well, the EKG did not indicate a heart attack, but it's a specific type of heart attack that you diagnose with the tropopines? I can never remember it, but some enzyme that starts TROP. And that, in this particular type of heart attack, obviously a mild one, the very next day I was walking around in my room at the hospital. In less than 2 weeks I was back at work. All they ever did was put in a stent. But apparently this is a type of mild heart attack that doesn't show on the EKG but does reflect in the T count, trope count, whatever you want to call it. I am as much a medical person as I am Fred Minnick. And Fred Minnick would be the first to tell you I ain't him. And let me tell you a secret. I don't want to be Fred Minnick. He's an Okie. I ain't. You want to see a rivalry? You just look at how Texans and Okies look at each other. We look at them like the barbarians they are, and they look at us like the barbarians they are. Hook 'em horns. It's very definitely nutty. I was afraid this would be so sweet I wouldn't be able to finish the bottle, but that really sweet, sugary note on the nose seems to be gone. And I'm getting a very nutty bourbon note. Maybe this comes from Dickel. Now, I do have to tell you that maybe I am missing some what's there. Right now, I'm feeling better than I have since, oh shoot, Saturday night, I guess. I'm recording this on, it's a very early on a Friday. Go back to Saturday night is the last time I felt this good. I had an infected tooth. In fact, I think it infected all across here. It doesn't show too greatly in the videos, but my dentition is not the greatest. Long story, I probably won't ever go into that. But I got an infected tooth, at least one tooth, maybe everything along in here. And I was feverish. I had increasing pain for a couple of days, and I was feverish for a couple of days. I went to work today, Thursday. I was weak as a newborn kitten. But last night, when I was trying to drink whiskey, I was able to tell that old Overholt 114 rye I'm probably going to like. But then I poured me some Knob Creek 9-year. The nose was great. The finish was pretty good. On the palate, I was tasting nothing. I wasn't even getting alcohol. Tonight my palate's better. I will not guarantee it's up to snuff. I'm barely getting any sweetness at all. The nuttiness is foremost. I wonder what it tastes like. You think I should find out? Well, if you do or don't, I can't hear you, so I'm going to find out. That is good stuff, Maynard. Mikey likes it. So do I. The sweetness is still there. It's a little muted from where it was. Again, with the palate situation in mind, but I think I'm getting real effects of the whiskey opening up. I hate itches. They come at the most inconvenient times. And so often the worst ones are where you can't reach them at all. I had never seen a back scratcher in my life till I went to Korea in '79. We have 3 in the house, all of them Korean. And now apparently they're all over the place in the States, but I never saw one till I went to Korea. And the minute I saw one, I thought, what a marvelous, brilliant invention. Why don't we have them? Koreans are smart folks. It was Koreans invented movable type. A German invented the printing press. Koreans had movable type first. They invented the armored warship. Long before the Virginia and the Merrimack fought, Admiral Yisunshin was thrashing the Japanese in 13 individual battles. He won every single one with armored warships. He took on 300 with 13 ships and won. Hachiro, and I don't speak Japanese, so I might have mispronounced that, was the battle who won the battle, or was the admiral who won the battle of Tsushima Strait. Yamamoto Isoroku was there, by the way, the man who masterminded the Pearl Harbor attack. Lost, I think, 2 or 3 fingers in that battle. A shell splinter just whacked him off. Brilliant admiral Togo was. And somebody once compared him with Yisunshin. And he said, no, no, no. Compare me to Nelson if you wish. You cannot compare me to Yisunshin. He was the greatest ever. And a Korean. I'm proud of Korea. I'm a Texan. I'm an American. Now, someday, maybe in a sippin' and talking video, I'll go into why I kind of hesitated there. It's not because I hate the United States. It's because of what the United States has done to my region, to my people, to my fellow Southerners. But my wife's Korean, and I spent a year there, and they are some of the toughest people going. They've had to be. If they hadn't been tough, they wouldn't exist anymore. How did I get onto that anyways? I don't know. I'm just a sipping and a talking. There's the nectary sweetness of the agave. Then there's sugar, white sugar in there, some brown sugar, just enough cinnamon to make it interesting. And I'm not doing a review, so I'm not going to pick this apart. You'll have to wait and see on that. Although because of the way I randomize videos, you may see the review of this months before you see this video. I do it for various reasons, one of which being the, not anticipation really, maybe or maybe not excitement, but it's the thrill of the unknown, at least for me. And maybe you would rather have it a little more structured. If so, leave it in the comments. Say, people, please respond to my videos. I got 86 subscribers at this point. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment. Even if it's just to say, look, you no good such and such and so, you shouldn't be on YouTube in the first place. First Amendment, you have a right to your opinion, you have a right to state your opinion. I also have a right not to give a single flying flip, but that's a whole nother deal. Let's just say that I'm in a good mood tonight. Sometimes I find myself recording when my mood is, I've never recorded in a bad mood. I'm not going to inflict that on y'all. Although sometimes I may rant and sound like I'm mad at the world. I never am on the video. But I'm in a good mood. The indicators on my heart situation are good. Before I was sick, my blood pressure was dropping slowly. It went a tad bit up while I was sick, and now that I'm better, it dropped off a cliff almost, so that's good. My heart's giving me no trouble at all. It's not in my pocket now, it's over in the living room, but I carry my nitroglycerin with me just in case. Never had to use a one. Being sick these past couple of days took my wind away something awful, but overall, I've been regaining my wind since I got out the hospital. I'm even beginning to get closer to where I was in 2020 when them stupid, useless face diapers cut my wind like you wouldn't believe. They don't stop viruses. They do clog up with bacteria and dirt and everything else, and For about 2 years here in New Mexico, that woman up in Santa Fe forced us to wear them. I did at work. I need the job. Any job I went to, they'd have made me wear them, so refusing would have been a good way to starve my wife, and I ain't going to do that. I'll put up with a lot before I'll hurt her. But everywhere I went elsewise, I didn't wear one. And if somebody griped at me, I'd tell him I don't wear one for medical reasons. I did not say that I have a medical condition. That would have been untrue. But there were and are sound medical reasons not to do that to yourself. And if I knew that in high school, how come all these doctors and nurses didn't know it? Well, I think they did, but like lemmings, they just jumped off the cliff all together. See, I rant and I sound mad. And this video has gone on for 21 minutes and counting, and I didn't even realize it. So, I may have heartaches by the number and troubles by the score, but my heart's ticking along just fine. I figure I'll be here 20, 30 more years. And y'all are now thinking, 20 or 30 more years of this guy on YouTube? Maybe. Maybe not. There may be a YouTube channel that's 20 or 30 years old and still a kicking. I don't know of any, but there's a lot I don't know. In 20 or 30 more years, well, in 20 years I'll be 86, and 30 years I'll be 96, assuming I'm still alive. And my plan is to live forever or die trying. I guarantee you I'll succeed in that plan. But I may not be here, I don't know that I'll get tired of the channel, but I may one day realize I've said everything I have to say. I've gone beyond my whole point, which is to provide information to beginners in whiskey. And I may say it is time to fold my tent and go quietly into the night. I don't suppose at that point I'll delete the channel. I'd probably leave it up, but I may come there. I don't know. What I do know is that this hasn't just been a sipping and talking video. It's been a sipping and rambling and meandering video. Oh boy, howdy has it been. Meanwhile, if you like sweet whiskey, and you can find it where you are, pick up some Devil's Run agave bourbon. Unless it really goes south between now and the time I do the review, it'll be a favorable review. It'll have to really go bad in that time for me to do something unfavorable. I'm just sniffing on it because it smells so good. Okay, Texas flag, country song. I did hook 'em horns. I'm definitely in a country mood, so clink, yeehaw. I got that backwards. Yeehaw, clink.